Hi everyone. Rosie's fast asleep. And Boba's asleep on top of the wardrobe. Of course, where else would she be? Today we're going to share a story called After the Storm with Percy the Park keeper. Percy the Park keeper couldn't sleep. Outside his hut, a big storm was raging, with thunder and lightning and pouring rain. Percy wasn't frightened by the thunder, and he loved to watch the lightning as it lit up the whole park. He didn't even mind the rain. But there was one thing that Percy didn't like. He didn't like the wind. It blew down people's fences in the park, and it ripped branches off of the trees. He didn't like it one bit. Oh dear, he sighed as he watched from his window. The wind tugged at the trees, making them creak and groan. It looks like I'm going to be busy tomorrow. He pulled his pillow over his head and tried to get to sleep. Percy was up early the next morning. The wind had stopped and the sky was clear. Percy loaded up his wheelbarrow with all the things he would need to make the repairs and clear up after the storm. Then he set off to inspect the damage. He felt happy as he took deep breaths of the fresh, clean air. Perhaps the damage wouldn't be so bad. But he was wrong. Something dreadful had happened. A great big oak tree that had stood by itself on top of a little hill had been blown over by the storm. The giant tree had been one of Percy's favourites. Now it looked very sad lying on its side with its mass of tangly roots sticking up into the air. But it wasn't just one of Percy's favourite trees. Some of Percy's animals' friends had lived there too. Now their homes were wrecked. Percy hurried up to the fallen tree. The animals were gathered by the tree, looking cross and unhappy. When they saw Percy, everyone started talking at once. Percy sat down with his friends and he listened as they told him how the storm had brought down the great tree. "And now we have nowhere to live," said the badger. "Some of us lived in the tree and some of us lived under the tree, but we're all homeless now." Some of the rabbits looked close to tears, and the fox was very sniffy. Percy passed him a handkerchief and the fox blew his nose. Percy stood up. "We'll just have to find you somewhere else to live," he said. "Come on everyone, jump into the wheelbarrow." The animals felt better now that Percy was with them. First, he took them to the pine wood, but nobody wanted to live there. "Too dark," squeaked the mice. "Too gloomy," said the hedgehog. So Percy took them to the shrubbery, but no one wanted to live in the shrubbery either. "No big trees," complained the squirrels. "No big roots," moaned the rabbits. "Never mind," said Percy. "We'll try across the stream." Percy began to push the heavy wheelbarrow over a little bridge that crossed the stream. But as he got to the middle of the bridge, two things happened. Percy stumbled, and the wheelbarrow decided to see what it would be like to be a boat. Splash! Poor Percy and all those poor animals in the wheelbarrow. First they've lost their home and now they're all soggy. Suddenly, Percy and his friends found themselves drifting downstream to where the stream opened out into a lake. Percy stood up and looked around. "We'll have to paddle back to the shore," he said. But then something caught his eye. "No, wait, let's paddle across to the other side of the lake. I have an idea." The animals looked puzzled. What was Percy up to? Slowly they paddled the wheelbarrow across the lake. Here we are, said Percy. The squirrels jumped ashore and tied up the wheelbarrow to the roots of an enormous hollow tree that grew by the water's edge. Now this is my plan, said Percy. Everyone gathered round as Percy explained his idea. Is everyone clear? He said. Everyone nodded. Then let's get to work. They began by unloading all of Percy's tools and the planks of wood from the wheelbarrow. Then Percy explained exactly what he wanted them to do. He showed the badger how to use a saw, and he showed the squirrels how to knock in nails. The fox drilled holes and the rabbits screwed in the screws. The mice were kept busy fetching and carrying for everyone else. At lunchtime, they took a short break to share some of Percy's peanut butter sandwiches. Peanut butter sandwiches, what a yummy choice. Then they got busy again. At long last, their work was finished. A very tired Percy stood back to admire their handiwork. Now the squirrels had a brand new home, and so did the mice. The rabbits had a new home, and so did the badger, and the fox, and the hedgehog. In fact, every one of Percy's friends had a new place to live. Well done, everybody, said Percy. This is the best treehouse I have ever seen. What about you, Percy? Called Badger. Aren't you going to join us? Percy smiled. I think I'll stick to my old hut, said Percy, taking an acorn out of his pocket. I still have one job left to do back at the hill. Ooh, does anyone know what tree an acorn comes from? Because there's no such thing as an acorn tree. Let's think. What trees have we seen? There's been a pine tree in this. Do you think it was the pine tree? No, you're right. Pine cones come from a pine tree. What about the shrubberies, the bushes? I don't think acorns come from the bushes. Usually berries come from bushes. Wait. What was the special tree that had fallen over? Can anyone remember its name? Its name is the same as Miss Hall's class. You're right. The oak tree. An acorn comes from an oak tree. Oh my, I'm going to have to move back. Hold on. Wow. Can you see? Look at this lovely tree that they all live in. Isn't that beautiful? I wonder what season it might be if some of the leaves are turning orange. Let's see if I can get this folded back in neatly. I think probably not is the answer. And fold it up. And luckily that's the end of the story. Wow. What a lovely story that was. Did you enjoy it, Rosie? Did you like the story? I think it sent her to sleep. She enjoyed it so much. Now have a look at our Padlet. It's the same Padlet as before, so all you have to do is pop your name at the top, pop the book that you're talking about, pop some of your story thoughts down. What you liked, what you disliked, any puzzles you had, I wonder, and any connections. And I'm so excited to see some of your thoughts. See you soon. Bye.